All right, there we go. We made it back, guys. Sorry about that. So, as always, we have our season 10, week 11 stream. We got it right this time. We're starting this out with the change in scenery here with our replays. So, I have with me today, I have Brendan with us to co-host.
What's up?
What's going on, Brendan? And this is for a very specific reason because Brendan is doing his live match as we announced last week. Now, Um, I don't have any of the other mods on stream with me, but I do recall that we were meant to make an announcement as well this week, which we will do at the end of the stream here in a second. But let's kick it off with going over the matches that were not recorded. Now, we are going to have a live match today. It's going to precede some matches, but we're waiting on Brian to cook. So as soon as Brian's done cooking, we will
Like
be where we're
usual.
Right, right. A little last minute time with Brian is not that unusual. So, we are going to go to our standings for this week, and we're just going to talk about the non-recorded matches, and then we'll kick off the recorded matches. Brendan, I actually forgot to send you the order. I'm going to send that to you right now, so that you have it. You already have access to the drive, as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
All right. So non-recorded matches this week, as you can see on your screen, guys. Again, sorry for starting a little late. We did have to figure out Brendan's capture card situation. We got it figured out. We start out with Ty versus Jalen, a non-recorded match. Jalen just trying to get another W. He already got one this year. He's just trying to get that last one, get through the rest of the season. He already was eliminated, so like he's just playing to play. Ty needed this W for a cement. Technically, I mean, ultimately it didn't matter, but he did want it for the 7-0, the 7-4 score, and ultimately Ty did take the W by 5 there. So that one was an unrecorded match, and Ty got that by 5. Now we skip over to SB versus J Wade. SB versus J Wade was a match that SB absolutely had to win. They both had to win this. J Wade had a little bit more leeway, but they both had to win this to have a chance at playoffs. And ultimately, J Wade took that by 4. Now, technically, at this point in the scoring, SB is not mathematically eliminated until we have Brian versus Brendan, but that match is happening soon, and we will see if he is mathematically eliminated, which is like a 90. I'm sorry, it is a 99.9999999% chance that he will be mathematically eliminated. Moving on. The other unrecorded match that we have is the Mike versus Sakuna, or JG, as some of us know her. She is just trying to get a victory on the scoreboard before the end of the season and maybe pull somebody's score down with her. Mike did need this W in order to kind of cinch his playoff spot. He was a little bit lower on the standings. So that came up, but luckily he was able to win this match by 4, and JG goes on the last season. So next week she has to take a W, or she goes completely winless this season. But she's had a hard year anyway. She got a lot of stuff in her life, and that is all of the unrecorded matches. So now what we're doing is we're going to be waiting on our friend Brian to be prepared for his
Ever so
match.
reliable.
Ever so reliable match. Yeah, so we're going to start with the Corey versus Selena match. Now, Selena absolutely has to win this match in order to cinch her victory. I believe, if I'm looking at the standings properly, Corey also needs to win this match, but not as much. So let me see. Yeah, if Corey wins this match, Corey solidifies his position in the playoffs. If he loses, Selena has a chance at playoffs, and Corey has to fight hard. So we don't have team previews or anything. Corey starts the recording as the match starts. More power to him, I guess. Whatever. So Brendan, let me know when you're ready. It's just going to start at 0-0.
I am ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. I'm going to kick off with. Now his volume's a little weird. I don't know what happened exactly with the recording, but
There's
it was.
something distorted in the audio.
Yeah, Corey, if you're watching, your audio's a little distorted. I don't know what to tell you. Um,
Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know what is happening,
I
but
don't
that
I don't like the opening setup.
oh, the opening setup. Yeah. So we're
Hold on,
going with
hold
the
on.
two flyers. Is that who he
Wait,
led?
wait,
Well,
wait. Do we not have Tailwind on this for some reason?
he just felt
What?
like he didn't need it.
I I mean, I'm sure I could probably imagine why. Might have something to do with that tarot type.
Might. You're not really that late, Ty. We actually started really late because Brendan and I had to suss out his stream function.
Oh my god, no. Oh no.
Yeah. And he did this recently with where he was doing like EQ Garch or EQ Gyarados next to like EQ Garchomp, or he had done something with Levitate or whatever, and he was just like EQing next to it. And he's got Moxie, so that's big.
Oh boy.
That's just gonna, I mean, and
It only gets
Selena,
worse.
yeah, and Selena has had a problem with downhill battles where like they get answered at the start of the match, and then they're on tilt. So at this
Those
point,
are very tough to climb out of.
yeah, and at this point, Trick Room's not up. It's not gonna be up. This Pokemon is slower than both of them. We can just bust an EQ off with, and even probably survive whatever this.
Oh, I
Unless
hope
this
this is not
Jolteon is
Terra
Terra
Steel.
Flying. Nope. Okay. Whatever.
I hope this is not Terra Steel.
Terra Fairy doesn't. It actually hurts it because it was Grass type before. So the
Yeah,
Earthquake is not resisted anymore. Now the U-turn is resisted, but
but that doesn't matter.
that doesn't matter as much. Now it might survive this Earthquake. It's still a beefy Pokemon, even with the Moxie boost, but with the stab bonus, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
And bringing out this Pokemon here so you can get the auto speed boost at the end of the turn, pretty cute. I like it. Yeah, AV and Mega. Fuck it, Volt
Oh,
Switch.
wow.
Okay, big damage too.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
with the Assault Vest.
I mean, I think that thing's special defense is like kind of paper anyways.
Yeah, AV did matter there. Exactly. Now we got the. Okay, so he's going for the Aqua Jet. We're gonna hit both of these Pokemon with the Earthquake. Giga Drain pops off, doesn't do enough. But he
It
did
didn't really
he
feel like it
did
did
eat that.
anything.
He could have ate it more if he hadn't done, but I don't know what the U-turn would have done then. Who knows? Because if he was
Lefties.
Grass type and the U-turn hit him for super effective damage, and then he got hit by the Earthquake before he was able to actually, I mean, he resisted the Earthquake. I don't know. I don't have the calcs. I'm really bad at math. Speakman will tell you that.
Oh, man.
So go for the Protect. I guess anticipating the Aqua Jet. He does not do the Aqua Jet. He gets Giga Drained for his entire life force, healing the Yen Mega that's already a problem. Hopefully he
That's
wasn't
kind
double
of crazy.
targeting. Hopefully he wasn't double targeting. Even then,
It
Giga Drain.
was.
Oh god, he was double
Yep.
targeting.
There it is.
He might not have been double targeting, and we don't know because technically the Azumarill died before it did anything. But yeah, I'm sorry, she might not. But my bad, she. Yeah, I caught it right before you, Dan.
Um,
They. Chandelure. I don't even think I've seen this all year from anybody, whoever had it. I think it's been on this team all year, and I don't think I've seen it.
which is such a shame because it's a really cool Pokemon.
More Mons weak to ground. That's right. That Earthquake, man. Waterfall. Fuck it. We needed to 100% kill that fucking Pokemon. You could have got away with an Earthquake. You should have gotten
It
away with an
must
Earthquake. You
die.
absolutely should have gotten away with an Earthquake. The damage you would have done to this Hydronoid, I mean, even after that, like, it would have survived, but I mean, whatever. Who am I to talk? You know, whatever.
I mean, we're already so far ahead. What's the point?
That too, you know. Who's counting at this point?
I'd rather deal with it in other ways.
We have Fake Out, of course, so why not? The sound is so weird. This match.
Yeah.
I wonder how it sounds on stream. The match will happen as soon as Brian is done cooking his food and probably eating it too, if I'm...
No. He's not cooking in that respect.
Oh, he's not cooking food?
No, he's making his sets.
He's literally making his team before stream?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you know. Whatever. He just needs to not lose by 6. Literally, he just needs to not lose by 6, and then, like, he can't be knocked out. Like, that's the reality of the situation. I mean, he can be technically, but, like, not by the people that you'll see. The math is very complicated, this one. The race for playoffs, I think last year was really contentious, but I think this is the most contentious race for playoffs at the end.
Barely, dude. Wow.
Yeah, the AV mattered. This whole game, AV fucking mattered, baby. That Assault Vest battle was canceled. Okay, Selena, second surrender of the year. We are going to give the match, obviously, to Corey by 5 because of the surrender. Like, he had it. He was going to get the kill. It is what it is. Got the surrender. I am going to assume by the lack of presence that Brian is not ready. So we are going to continue to the next match. We thought we'd get one at the live match at the start of the stream. We're, you know, it's fine. Making Pokemon. You know, of the players that I would expect it from, that's okay. I think that, you know, I should have been more prepared myself. But who knows?
All right, what's our starting mark?
All right, so our starting market, we're just going to start normal. I think Jordan actually did a pretty good job here. You see he has all 6 picked already, so I'm assuming that we go right into it, and even if we don't, we have like a couple seconds, as opposed to other matches. So we'll just start at 0-0. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and go. I didn't actually cover your match already, Ty. Your match is not... Let me see when your match is.
The old reliable.
Oh, I did cover your match because you were unrecorded. You were unrecorded. Yeah, Jordan's names are hit or miss, honestly. He has some good ones, and then just, like, sometimes you're like, Jordan? Really? Jordan? Come on. Trapping gas.
And why is Jordan's audio so quiet?
I don't know. But we got a couple drops, some strange drops at the end of the season here. Quavel from Morgam, that's okay, a little questionable. I feel like downgrade, but I mean Morgam can be good. Braviary for Blaziken, not really a downgrade actually at all there. Trading Mike Gastrodon for Bronzong is like kind of more of a sell. He's like giving Mike the W, which is fine, I guess. Zach is known to do that sometimes. I think we have Jordan audio on here. We actually have like him talking. Do you hear that humming in the background?
No, I can like barely hear it.
Interesting. I actually have it at 42% on my volume, and it's like, all right. Yeah, Zach has basically given Mike the championship a second year in a row, which is totally fine. Mike had a really good team to begin with. That would be Zach's endorsement of Mike.
Look, all I gotta say is RNG's out there.
I mean, yeah. Bronzong has done a lot of work for Zach in the past too. So, and of the players that have had Bronzong, Mike, Zach, Aris, those players have used it really well. There's been a couple players who've had it that haven't used it that well, but I think that Zach has a really good handle on that in general, like Bronzong. And his team is really clever anyway, like fucking slash slash sand slash, right? I mean, come on. Who's breaking away from that? I will say, one of the things I want to say about this season is that Justin has probably had the most respectable season that they have ever had. They're 4-6. They were going into this match so one of the things that I want to point out about this match is like, if he were to win this match, if they were to win this match, they would have a legitimate shot at playoffs. And like, Justin has never had, no offense again to Justin, but Justin has never had a legitimate shot at playoffs before. Like, they've always flamed out and not made it. So like, in this position, Justin has had the best season they've ever had, and they are in a position where they can literally like get to the playoffs, which they've never done before. So this is a really important match going on here. I actually forgot to mention that because I didn't even realize it until it happened.
Devastating expanding force there.
Expanding force, though, here's the thing about expanding force. I want to say, like, not destroying everything in this game. And every other time we've seen the fucking Psy spam, it's just been shitting on everybody. So I love that Justin is the player that's just like, I ate that fucking expanding force. Love that for them, sorry. The audio is really weird on this one too, but not as bad as some of the last one. I feel like the audio was really bad. No offense, Corey, again. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, thank you, Night Discord bot, for reminding me. Please sub if you can sub, and like the channel if you would like, so that we can get more revenue. We don't even actually make any revenue on this. Sometimes we get a little bit of a payout, like once a year from Discord.
Single target earthquake. Ow. Still good enough to collect, though.
That's all he needs. Oh shit, we got a follow? Thank you for the follow. Hey! I said something and somebody followed me? What? Does that work? You guys, like, give me a like and follow? For what the fuck? You're telling me that it works? But no, yeah, do it again. I don't care. Yeah, more notifications.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
this fucking Volcarona's been sitting here all game.
It hasn't really been doing much though.
It's been doing enough. I mean, maybe not enough. That's presumptuous. I'm sorry. It's not been doing enough for sure, but it's been doing stuff. Why the tailwind would have gone off anyway? You would have outsped. What are we waiting for? Terrain to die? Is this the last turn of terrain?
I
So he
thought
can't.
Jordan was running terrain extender.
I don't. I'm saying I don't know if
Oh
he.
no, he was running
So
side seed.
so even if terrain extender was on there, it wouldn't. You wouldn't know until it failed to stop. Like the game would tell you it was gonna. It had one turn left, and then once it
Yeah.
failed, it would be like, all right, it actually has 7. Oh, Streambot. I wish we had a mod to get that person. And here comes the fabled shields down Meteor, who fucking swept last week, we're told. Like, crazy Meteor. Love to see that, Meteor. Here we go. What are we at? What are we doing? Did side terrain didn't... I don't know. I don't
No,
know what
still
happened
there.
there. I don't know why the protect, because the tailwind would have gone up and you would have been able to kill, like, maybe the crocodile, definitely the NDD. Just remember for next time, Justin. That's all we can ask. Phenomenal season from a player that typically doesn't perform as well as other players. Again, not trying to downplay that person, but traditionally doesn't perform as well as some other players. So for their season to go like the way that it did is phenomenal. I mean, they're at a 4-7, I think, in this week that we're watching here, and I'm at a 5-5, and I'm like third or fourth ranked all time. So like their season is very good for their typical performance.
Ooh, shell smash.
A little late in the game, but it is also their only chance at turning the game around.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what? The survival?
The burn.
This is intense. Now we got the now it's a game. Technically, this dude could turn around and sweep this. He could. I mean, maybe not because we got the Polytoad and the Basque Legion, but still,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good news. Jordan having a hard time deciding where to go. I feel like this maybe was terrain extender at this point because that fucking field is still
No.
up.
No, because I saw the side seed pop.
I'm just saying, it's like been up for feels like forever. Earth power?
Yeah.
Who's using earth power? Meteor?
What? Yeah.
Heat wave
Aw.
kill? Heat wave kill? Oh, that was a roll.
Oh,
One life, that's a
wow.
roll. That's a roll. He survived by a literal roll and wins because of it. Holy shit. If he didn't survive by that 1 HP,
Well, we don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. I think this was probably a roll if that was a rock slide.
I'm talking about the again right there the heat wave against
If
the
no, if that earth power, I think if that earth power, it
was a
wouldn't have
rock
even come to
slide.
that.
No,
Yeah,
if
if
it
that
was a
earth
rock
power was
slide, it
rock
wouldn't have
slide,
even mattered. If it was a rock
yeah,
slide,
nothing would have
he
mattered.
would have won. It wouldn't have mattered unless the rock slide missed one of the Pokemon. So it's hard to say. You
Yeah,
can't
but
say.
then you still have Volcarona around.
Yeah,
If
but
that would have lasted clean.
either
It would have
way,
been very hard to take out.
Yeah, either way, that was a really close match. That if the roll hadn't happened the way it did, and that indeed he didn't live by 1 HP, because again, that could maybe it was perfect stats to live by 1 HP no matter what without a crit, but I think that was probably like one of those rolls where it was just like it survived by 1 HP, the game decided. And if it had decided the other way, that would have been two Pokemon down. He would have had three left, and Minior had already had the boost up. The Tailwind was going down, and we had the Volcarona left, busting off double stab heat waves. Like, fucking absolutely insane. Could have brought it back. And I got to say, like, really good play by Justin. That does eliminate Justin from playoff contention, unfortunately, due to just in general, like, the scoring, but that was a phenomenal gameplay. Well, actually, technically, I'm sorry. Until we have Brian versus Brendan, he they technically are not eliminated. Speaking of, we've done two matches so far. Does anybody have word on Brian's situation? Is he done making his team? Anybody?
He
Anybody?
has not reached out to me. I'm gonna reach out to him again.
Yeah, let's reach out to him and then we can just do this match again because we gave him way more than 20 minutes for a while. He asked for 20 minutes and it's been like fucking 40 minutes. But like whatever.
It's been like 30.
I said like 40, that's an estimate. 30, 40, 20. It's in there. Within the realm of possibility between that margin.
So we're on a Speakman versus Phil.
Yes, we are on the Speakman versus Phil. Now, this is a really interesting match. Philip has to in order to have a chance. Speakman. Also, if they both lose, no matter with certain, they technically still have a chance.
Your
Like,
audio is coming like really weird right now.
sorry, I had stepped out for a second. So this match is really important because technically they both could be eliminated or they both could survive no matter what by the results of this match. So Phil if anybody wins by 3 points, they're both still in playoff contention. But if either of them win by like 4 points or more, they're knocked out. So like this is kind of a situation where they both could still be in playoff contention if one of them wins,
So
or if
three
it's
points or less win keeps both of them in. More than three eliminates one.
exactly. So
Okay.
this is a very tense match, and this is for a spot.
Is there the possibility for the bracket to be locked this week?
There's a small, tiny possibility. I actually don't think so. Um, I don't think so because of Jay Wade and his match with SB. I think Jay Wade is the outlier. Like, let me look at the scores. Hang on, I'm sorry.
So Jay
I
Wade
don't
wins.
think playoffs could be locked. No, they can't be locked. I know because it really depends on. I'm not going to tell you how I know, but they can't be fully locked. They will be mostly locked. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It'll be mostly locked in, but there will be a couple players that will have a chance to lose out. I will say this. I'll give you a spoiler of this. Any player with 6 points or above coming out of this week is guaranteed playoffs. So right now, 6 points is the cutoff. Any player with 6 points or above is guaranteed playoffs. That just is what it is. So any player that now has 6 points or did have 6 points entering into this season or this week, they're guaranteed playoffs. So you can rest easy. If you have 6 points, you can rest easy. So that's another important thing about the Brian versus Brendan match, right? So Brian has 5 points. Brian losing makes it so Brian is not guaranteed playoffs.
It
If
puts him in jeopardy.
Exactly, but if Brian wins, Brian guarantees himself playoffs, and you're already guaranteed on yours. So
Yeah.
no word from him. We're gonna go ahead and kick off the Speakman versus Phil match if you're ready.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, we really need. I mean, we don't need him. It would be nice if he would respond. Even with just like a time frame, like, give us an idea. Again, not trying to be a dick. I have that voice that comes off as dickish. That's just I'm I sound like an asshole, and a lot of times I am also an asshole. All right, King Pelipper. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
We're starting hot.
This is very hot. This is like I'm checking you, you're checking me. Like, what the fuck is going on here? This is a crazy weakness dynamics here. Somebody's got to turn 1 tera. It just has to happen. What's happening?
Okay, let's see what Phil does.
Turn 1 tera here is very smart on either / both sides. Turn 1 tera Ursa Luna, turn 1 tera Kingdra, turn 1 tera Pelipper. Like, I mean, the Hurricane from the Pelipper does big damage to the Rotom. It's so many things going on here. Ice Beam, okay, Protect, okay, big, smart.
Ice Beam would be devastating onto the Mo.
Yeah. And he picked the wrong Pokemon with it.
good.
Khaleesi picked the wrong Pokemon. Electro Web will go off and reduce speed. Huge on the Drizzy. Neither person T1 Terra'd. We pull that bitch out, as far as I'm concerned. You pull that fucking bitch out. We save that rain. Okay, we double Ice Beam. It would have... Oh! Oh!
No!
Oh!
No!
What? What the fuck? RNG said, you can have this one, G. Oh, this is huge. This is huge. We could fucking... He's really slow. We could fucking double Ice Beam that fucker.
Oh no, that Terra type is awful for us.
Now we have to swap out. Holy shit. This is so disadvantageous for him.
Our Terra type is so bad.
Holy shit. Alright, so he named this Pokemon Beats Rain. He gave us a little clue going in that he had Sunny Day on it because that's one of the reasons he picked that. I don't think Will-O-Wisp auto thaws. I don't think it auto thaws. It's like Scald and like Overheat and Flare Blitz. No, not using any fire move will thaw. That's not true.
Oh, I got a bad feeling about this turn.
Sunny Day goes up.
Okay, no.
And then,
okay,
for the billionth time in the world, he will attempt to use Electro Shot without a turn 1 use. For the fucking trillionth, gabillionth time in the row. Like, he's never, in his entire time using Archulodon, gotten an Electro Shot off in 1 turn.
No,
Brian is here.
To me.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. My bad. Brian, welcome.
Oh yeah, that was the week I uploaded my match late.
Brian, I can't hear you. Nope, not working.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
I can hear you.
It was a little weird there.
Yeah, I sounded a little weird.
All right, now you're good. Now we're good.
Now I'm good.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Mikey BGC? It's good to see you, buddy.
Oh no.
Okay, we got the scale shot. That's big. Here's where I would have probably swapped in, like, I would have probably swapped in the Pelipper just to, but it's hard.
That's what I was thinking would happen this turn.
I've been chilling, Mikey. I've been chilling, hanging out, trying to do my thing with the PLC, let everybody get, okay, well, Electro Shot didn't kill. Trying to let everybody get their time there. And I think what we do in here is we don't bring in the Pelipper, we bring in something else, and then we switch in the Pelipper, right? Like, yeah, just trying to get some matches. And this is week 11, so week 12 is the last week. Next week is the last week of the regular season, and then we go into playoffs, and then, my daughter will be born at the end of that, so. This is a big couple weeks coming up. Is that Skitter Smack? Thank you so much.
I think it was. Yeah, it
They
is.
both have Skitter Smack? Oh no, okay. I was like, what? What is happening? What are you doing, bro? I didn't know that the keys got Skitter Smack. That's interesting. Yeah, we just Thunderwave here. That's what you do. Neither of them, well, I guess you could kind of die to maybe a full Electroshot. See, here is where I would have Pelipper swapped in on the... You never want to leave Scizor out in the sun. Let me tell you one thing, but that's just me. Bullet Punch still could go off here, and it will. That was his only shot. That was his only shot. Was the paralysis on the Thunder Wave. That was his only chance. I think this Scizor is banded too, so. Beekman's at a huge disadvantage now. There's like...
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that move there.
Fuck the special attack boost. We don't need it. We can do it again if we have Rain back up, right? Okay, so he's setting Rain back up. Now he has to kill the keys. Has to kill the keys or else it's game over.
I could like 100% hit that spot with a Drain Punch instead.
Here we go. Can you kill the keys, Philip? Can you kill the keys with Bullet Punch?
Probably.
You fucking did. Hell yeah.
Wow.
That's it. Rain is up. Rain is up. That's all it is now.
Oof. Not ideal.
Its job is just to set rain.
Yeah. Beats Rain, a second Pokemon named Beats Rain?
They're all named Beats Rain.
Cheating by VGC standards, but legal by PLC standards. We did get a Terra. Wait, did we get a Terra yet? I don't think either player Terra'd. No, yeah, good point. Yeah, neither player Terra'd so far. Alright, yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. Protect goes off too. Why not? Dazzling Gleam. Eats it. Stamina. Drain Punch. That's big. That was big. That was good prediction. Really good prediction on that part. Because the neutral damage from the Bug Steel, but like that alone was huge. Stamina is going to heal too. We do have 2 times defense boost now. So, you know, it's still... Drain Punch is still very dangerous, but... Yeah, but the Steel type got hit by the dragon, by the fighting type. The dragons don't resist fighting. That's what I was talking about. And then the other one was Bug Steel that was out there. The Scizor was out there beforehand. He swapped in that Pokemon, just to be clear. Okay, Overquill. Follow me. Alright, we get the what? An Electroshock kill? Maybe? Potentially? Hopefully?
Probably.
He was attacking that spot anyway, because it wouldn't have hurt the Ursaluna. Follow this! Nothing.
Dang. Oh, wow. Nothing.
Headlong rush, and he kills it. He said, follow this, Kamehameha! And then Cell was like... That was hilarious. How does this game end the way that it fucking ends? And the light screens are down. That's why the Electroshot didn't kill, of course. I forgot about the light screens.
Well, it wouldn't have killed anyways.
We also didn't have light clay on the clef key, so they went down pretty quick. I mean, not pretty quick. I mean, screens last, but light
And he
light clay,
didn't have reflect either.
light clay could make it a whole match basically if you do it right. What is this fucking sound effect? All right, follow me again. Bug type move, throat chop. Okay, no, never mind. Throat chop's gonna do it. That dark type stab. Peace out. All right, now we got the choice bandit bug going for Ursaluna. Oh, never mind. Okay, Okos. That's big because that overquill was like pretty integral to killing that fucking close combat. Okay.
Wow.
And he's banded. So, okay, that was his shot. Like he fucking rolled his dice. God damn, Phil. Okay, you were in it to win it, bro. This is what that was. He said, "I'm winning this fucking game, bro." We haven't seen a Terra yet either. Intimidate goes off. That was, man, Phil, honestly, like, I fucking want you to make it, dude. Like, god damn, dude, I fucking want you to make it. Like, you, at that later half of the season, you had a really rough start. First of all, you also had some of the top players starting out in the season. You had, me, Zach, Reese, like, pretty much back-to-back, Jordan H., like, back-to-back from the start of the season. And then the second half of the season, you still had difficult opponents, but, like, the way that you shifted up into the Rancor and everything that you did to your team post-mid-season, you have had a phenomenal comeback. Like, this is a crazy... And then the skill with which you play each game, like, I gotta say, man, even if you don't make it, like, you should definitely be proud. I'm sorry, yeah, I didn't mean Zach on that one. He plays you next week, but he had me, Reese, like Mike. I forget. Let me look at his first starting lineup. It was tough. It was a tough lineup. So week 1 he played Reese out of the gate, and then he played Jordan. Week 3 he played me, so right out of the gate, like top 5 players right there. Then he played Ty, who has had a phenomenal season this year, and that was good. And then he played Brian, who also is a really good player. And then he played Jalen. Obviously, he won that one. Then we went into mid-season and we went from there. But yeah, no, he had a really rough start to the season. It was a really strong comeback for him. Brian, I'm assuming by your presence in the chat that you have completed your team. Brian?
That is correct.
Okay, perfect. All right, then after this match, after this match, we will proceed with the live match, and then we'll finish up the stream with the last 3 matches of the stream. We'll do the live match next, though, so you guys, if you are tired, can get out. Very close. The close combat's gonna pick up. Don't go back to work, Ty. Fucking tell him you're sick. We got the Terra at the end of the game. It wasn't enough. In a game where Terra on turn 1 would have been so huge for either player. And, like, that's crazy that we got the late game Terra for both sides.
Unfortunately, Chris's Terra type was not ideal. The Ursaluna was Terra Grass,
That's
which was
true.
not helpful.
That's true. It wasn't the best Terra situation for him, but for Phil, there was a really good Terra option for him on his side. So like either way, this particular season was Reg H, I believe. Well, it was based on Reg H. It's not exactly like fully Reg H, but it was based on Reg H. Yes. We essentially, just so you're aware, Mike, we choose we have a couple players who are very well versed in VGC and also Smogon, and they make a list for us to choose from, and then we do a draft and they make a wireless. It's a bunch of complicated stuff, but basically we try to curate each season to be like specific demographics or like playing fields or whatever. Like every once in a while we'll do an Uber season specifically, with like legends and stuff, or specific. So we do 6v6. So that's how we play. And then in playoffs we do best of 3 6v6. Um so it's an interesting playing field, but we are gonna stop replays for now. We're gonna switch over to
Just a
Discord
second.
cap,
Just get to the screen.
and we're gonna
Okay, there you go.
we're gonna stretch this out till it fits the screen properly. And so this is going to be our live match for the week. I do want to talk about live matches for a second. So live matches happen between any players that have a capture card, or like myself who has a capture card. Any players that have a capture card are welcome to do a live match on stream, where we will stream your live match to the players to watch, and we will commentate as well. Brian and Brendan elected to do that this week. This is a huge match for standings. Basically, if Brian loses, or if Brendan loses one Pokemon, two players are eliminated immediately. So this is a huge match for them, and
I'm coming for y'all.
and so this is a huge match in the standings situation, and everybody has been looking forward to it. And everybody who has an opponent who has a capture card technically has the option to run a live match through the stream. You just have to talk about it with your opponent, get them to agree, and then talk about it with me so we can set it up. But you guys can proceed. Brian, you are not allowed to watch the stream at this point because you will see Brendan's screen, and that's cheating. If you do, I mean, we can't necessarily prove it, but like, don't be an asshole.
All right, Brian. Code 8008135.
Okay, so boobies. And then also,
Yep.
Brian versus Brendan, just so you guys know, you have the option to mute each other if you want, so you don't hear each other, or like you can just have live shit talk while I watch your match. It's totally up to the players at this point.
I'm up for live shit talk.
Brian?
Yep.
Okay,
All right, live shit talk it is. And also, I will
I am
commentate.
ready.
Send him the
Switching now.
code, brother.
I already told him.
Oh, he knows. He knows the code. It's set in stone. These
I know
guys
the
have been
code now.
ready. We thought they were going to do last week, because there was a miscommunication between everybody, myself, and then everybody, and then
Yeah.
they were going to do this week, but we did it this week. Let's watch this match. This is going to be a good one. Now, these two players, they know a lot about each other. They're pretty much best friends. I mean, I would say they're best
I've
friends. I
never
don't know
met
if
this man in my life.
Yeah,
I don't
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't want to say they are each other's best friends. I don't want to make claims. They're in the hierarchy. They're up there with each other. They who knows what they did with each other? Who knows? But
Oh wow, this is an interesting talk. I see the randomizer was not kind to you this week.
you guys randomized
Um,
too?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow.
I think it was kinder to me than it was last week.
So so did you guys do the four pick two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were the two that each of you picked? Just to give
Hold on, let
us
me pull up
context
my
as the
list.
audience.
My two picks. My two picks were Indeedee and Sneasler.
No, I mean, okay, so you didn't get either. You got your combo in your pick, basically.
And my two picks were Electrode and Cetitan.
Interesting. Not quite as the rest of your team, but interesting picks. Okay, let's see how it goes.
We cooked a little bit. Maybe. I don't know.
At the last minute,
Could go. Yeah, you know. That's how I do things. Bosch will tell you.
Bosch and I have a Gordon Ramsay style cook-off coming up next season. So I got a pizza oven, by the way,
That's
guys.
that's
While we lead into this match,
Something's happening here. I don't
Oh.
quite know
oven.
what.
Okay. I can't talk about specific moves because they're both on stream with me and I don't want them to hear me. Actually, what I can do is I can mute myself so they can't hear me and then we can only hear their shit talk. That's what's going to happen, guys. You can no longer
Oh, this
hear
is gonna
me.
be a very funny thing. See what
All
happens.
right. So they can't hear me now,
Gonna be a
guys.
fun turn.
Yeah.
Brendan,
I don't
Brendan,
know.
Brian,
I
you
don't
guys
know.
can't
I
hear
don't
me?
know what
No?
you're gonna
Okay.
do. All right.
Are we gonna go? Yeah, yeah. We'll lock it in.
Oh wow. Let's see.
We'll lock
Okay.
in.
We got the turn one Terra. Steel Terra.
Okay.
This is kind of
Oh, I
lit,
think I should have done
honestly.
something else. It's fine though.
Is it fine, Brian?
Okay, that's fine.
They can't hear me, so.
Okay.
So stones are going up. I think I saw him use that, right? Focus energy. Okay. We're going for the crit. Hailwind goes up. That's pretty
That thing
bold.
gets tailwind.
Yeah.
They
That's
can't
This
hear me after
spawn
that.
is so funny.
That's crazy.
Just gonna unmute myself for a second. As a fellow Cleavor enthusiast, Cleavor is the most busted version of Scizor, who was already, I mean, Scyther Scizor, whatever, already a busted Pokemon. Cleavor is top fucking tier. Like, excellent stat distribution, excellent move pool, excellent ability, fucking insane support options. Like, it's a ridiculous Pokemon.
Please go
All right.
away.
Electro web kill.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, we got the aftermath. We're gonna kill or do a
Now
little
you
bit
get
of damage.
aftermath.
So
Oh no.
we don't have stones set up yet. Draco Meteor.
And see, hopefully. I got a critical hit.
And just
What?
like that, two
Oh.
players
Oh
are
my god.
eliminated from contention. Oh, we didn't have to walk it back. It was gonna happen. It was mathematically certain. And now we can say for a fact that SB and Justin are eliminated. Holy shit.
That one was directed at all of you personally.
I appreciated that personally because if somehow you guys had pulled out the fucking like the only way you could have guaranteed it is by like Brian forfeiting. Like if you guys had pulled it out somehow where like you actually got the 6-0 and I had to eat my fucking words, I was going to be so disappointed. That's it. That's it for SB and Justin. They're eliminated. We just have to know who wins this.
Ooh.
I may have
Ooh.
made mistakes in this
Ooh.
set.
Hot Terra. Oh, hot Terra.
All right,
Okay.
SB, sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, I suck.
Stone X does finally go up.
Uh.
Getting the stones up mid-match.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you think?
yeah, that was good. That was a good Terra. Ooh, wow, that didn't do much
Exactly
damage.
how I want you to think about it, SB. Be the crab that pulls the other crab down into the bucket. Do what you can to make your opponent suffer.
Ooh, that's really rough. Hmm.
I'm so glad that I chose the smart option of pausing the teams after the walk back because there was no way they were going to make it.
Oh no.
Snow. Snow's going to eat a rock. Snow warning goes up. Blizzard?
Yep, didn't have a
Blizzard?
choice.
Does he have Blizzard? Does he have Blizzard? Did he cook? Does Brian fucking Mills have Blizzard right now? Oh,
Oh my god, that killed.
Brian,
That thing, sharpness is very good.
Brian, just so you know, Tatsugiri Morgan was already picked up. Unfortunately, the sheet wasn't updated. I do apologize. So your Tatsugiri Morgan.
I did actually notice that.
So yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Seems like Speakman was available. He just
Ouchie,
didn't want to
ouch.
stream.
Ouchie, ouch.
Wait, Sneezer doesn't have a fourth move? Okay.
Now,
Well,
some viewers may notice a problem here.
yeah, I think they all have.
I'm not gonna talk about it,
I would
okay?
say that they all have noticed that problem and have mentioned it.
I'm sure they have. I noticed it immediately, and I was like, oops.
Post combat's just gonna do its job. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just rather
unburdened.
avoid any kind of protect issues.
Yeah. Post combat could have definitely killed that though, which I think would have been the better call personally,
Oh
but
darn.
whatever.
Yeah, I kind of needed that to happen.
Yeah,
That's two Pokemon. And again,
I'm sorry.
no, they cannot make it.
Hey, man, it happens.
They can't make the playoffs. They are
I didn't even
eliminated.
think about how hard the stealth rocks would wreck this team.
Yeah.
Here. Explosions.
I've got one question and one question only. Explosion?
That was a deep cut reference from those two, so I'm not quite sure what it was about.
Yay.
Frostmoth goes down.
Well,
Body chop of all time.
it was a good game, Brendan. Oh. Really?
I was preparing for other things.
Really? Oh.
It's
I
fine.
mean, still fine.
You're
But
at -2.
you did the thing, Brian, and you defeated your opponent by more than two Pokemon, or you lost rather. Sorry, by taking out more than two Pokemon though. So you have effectively
you know what?
eliminated the other two opponents.
I see what I did wrong.
What'd you do wrong?
I switched out after I focused energy.
Well, you were also at -2 already then.
With focus energy and scope lens, you have 100% crit rate.
Yeah, and the crit rate will eliminate the stat drop, so the drop wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have depended on you getting the Sneasler off the board, though.
Now, Brian, do me a favor, or Brendan, sorry, do me a favor and tell me that you clicked record.
I did.
Okay, perfect. Send me or go ahead and upload that video when you can, and I will get that on the YouTube as the individual battle. Really good job, you guys. That was a really cool battle. I am sorry that it happened the way it happened, Brian, but I pretty sure I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but I'm pretty sure that also the fact that you knocked out 2 Pokemon guarantees your participation. I don't have the full stats in front of me. That will be for somebody better at math or with a math degree to decide than me. But the fact that you knocked out 2 Pokemon does eliminate Justin and SB no matter what. They are eliminated, and they cannot potentially make playoffs. And so they are gone. And now we
Okay,
have
I have bad news.
what?
This recording is hot garbage.
It's fine that it's hot garbage because
No,
it
no, it's
just,
like unwatchable.
it's what?
It is like literally unwatchable.
Okay. Well,
And it also caught like somehow 6 out of 10 minutes, despite me stopping the recording at 10 minutes.
I'll tell you what, I will find a way to record that footage myself from the stream. Honestly, it's not that big a deal.
I don't
Um,
know. I
it's not that big a deal. I'll find a way to record that footage and get it on the stream somehow. But because Brian, you defeated 2 Pokemon, you lost by 4. You're a -1 right now, which is not great, but it makes it so Justin and SB cannot possibly pass you for the end of the season, and they are effectively locked into not being able to make it. So they can't trade, they can't wire. It's not happening. And Jay Wade, Speakman, and Phil are the last people who have not been able to be locked into playoffs. Now, the people that are up for loss, I don't even have all the full stats. I think it is myself. Corey is secure. Mike is secure. I think Brian could potentially lose. So myself and Brian are the only ones that could potentially be eliminated, and it would take ostensibly a miracle for either of us to be eliminated. But I'm not gonna say that it's not impossible. But it would take Philip winning by 6 and Brian losing. No, even then. Holy shit. Brian, you lost by. It would take me losing by 6 and Philip winning by 6. Even then, I don't even think it would happen. Speakman's the only one. I think Philip might be mathematically eliminated now. Actually, we should have paused his team. Damn. That's crazy. Oh well. I think Philip is mathematically eliminated now as well. And we did not pause his team, so he was able to endorse Reese for his match, and that happened, and we couldn't stop it. So whatever, it happens. Moving on, if you guys would like to stick around, we have the last 3 matches of the stream. Either of you are welcome to leave, but I would appreciate it if you stayed. It's totally up to you.
I'll stick.
All right.
I will be heading out.
All
Work
right,
in the
Brian.
morning.
Enjoy your work, sir. And we will move on to the yeah, no, I think that basically as of right now, like essentially it would be nearly impossible. Speakman's the only person who could do it, I think, and Jay Wade, Speakman and Jay Wade are the only 2 people who could do it.
Now, I gotta ask, the media that was being sent out and like was being streamed, It wasn't like all cutty and
No,
shit, right?
no, actually it was clear. So
Okay,
you can thank
so
that. So
that's
like we
good.
got perfectly fine video on our side. We got pure video.
I think what's going on is that
When you're
like
streaming it, it's too much for your
I
computer.
it's too much for my GPU. It's too
I
much for my
gotcha.
GPU to be able to handle Discord, like running OBS and playing the Switch off of it,
And
and then also recording it and streaming it at the same time.
that makes
It eats
sense.
up. It like I'm sure I am like maxing out my VRAM and need more than I like actually have.
No worries. It's not that big a deal. I
I'm
mean,
just
it
shocked I
worked.
had the limitation on it. It's a 3070. I'd
Yeah,
kind of
no,
expect.
that is really weird because like maybe there's a like a throttle switch or something that you need to engage because like I can almost guarantee you, and this is no offense to Jordan, but Jordan does not have the same quality computer that you have, and he both streams live matches and records twice over. He records two matches. He records one pure and one with his footage on it. So
Yeah,
like
there's gotta be something going on.
there's some sort of setting going on that is affecting your stuff, but neither here nor there. We'll figure that out later. I will say I think that Philip's team is actually technically mathematically eliminated now. So that is what it is, but whatever. We're moving on. The only two people who can still make it, I believe, and again, don't quote me on this because I am bad at math on the fly, but I think the only two people that can still technically make it are Speakman and Jay Wade. And from there, we will move on to the remaining matches. Are you ready? This next match will be Zach versus Jay. Let me get to the point that we get to where it's going to be 13 seconds. Let me know when you get there.
13 seconds.
I appreciate everybody sticking around and watching all season long. Listen, I know that the season is long, first of all, especially for players. I know that the season can be long. It can be arduous, especially when
All
you're
right, I
losing every
am
week.
ready.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. Or Brandon, sorry. I know it can be hard. It can be long when you're losing every week. It can be stressful when we come out with random rules randomly. I know that it's written in the rules and that I've made it very clear, but I understand that it can be frustrating when random rules come out and you're not expecting them. And I understand that, guys. So, what I'd like for you to do is if that stuff comes up and it annoys you, please say so in general. We can have an open discussion, even if nothing happens of it. Something might not happen, right? But if we have an open discussion as a group, and the general consensus is that like whatever is happening or could happen is not acceptable or players don't like it, like we can always walk back decisions. Like that's the best part about being able to change the rules on the fly is that if we make a call and then overwhelmingly it's not supported, like we can walk it back before it impacts the season. So I just want to say before we move on, if you guys ever have a situation where a ruling has been made or something has come up that you guys don't agree with, like say so. Like tag everybody, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not petty to tag everybody and be like, "Hey, I fucking think this is kind of bullshit because of XYZ." Right? Like do definitely have your reasons in order. Like don't just come without preparation, but like if you don't like something, like say something to everybody and we could talk about it, and if it makes logical sense and there's a general consensus to repeal it, we can always change situations, guys. So we can always change the type of rules. One of the things that has been contentious over the years is feed on the week, which is coming up next week, and a lot of players don't like it existing at all. Some players really like it existing. Some players want to maintain it. So originally going into this year, we were going to cut it altogether, but Zach really wanted to contain it, and Speakman was like, "Okay, what ideas do you have?" Zach had an idea, and that's what we proceeded with his idea, but it wasn't the same as it's always been, right? But like we were originally just going to cut it all together because a lot of players had expressed that they didn't like how feed on the week worked, and I get that. But if you have problems, guys, just please make them known to general chat, and we can discuss them, and we can try to move forward. Starting at 13 seconds, Brandon. One, two, three, go. But
All
seriously,
right,
like
let's see it.
If you guys have problems, like just let us know and we could talk about it in front of everybody. And even if it's like if it's a general consensus that everybody doesn't like, we can fucking change it. Like I'm not opposed to changing shit. Obviously, I'm not opposed to changing shit because I'm changing shit all the goddamn time, along with the other mods who have all voted and agreed on any changes that happen. It so far has been unanimous. I just want to make clear. Okay, we're leading King Gambit. Interesting.
Interesting.
This is a really interesting. Yeah, this is a super good lead. Fake out could be big here, but this is a super good lead for Jay, especially if he has covert clerk on cloak. God, I always say covert clerk. If he has covert cloak on one of these Pokemon, like that could be huge, especially on the Pokemon that's already been targeted for fake out, which at this point is the dog. Just so you know, Dan, I responded to your comment, just so you know how that help happened. Right?
Prankster Trick Room is only kind of funny.
Prankster Trick Room is very funny. It only gives it a +1 on the speed, and it actually doesn't come into play at all.
Yeah, it does not matter at all.
Because
Does
of the
nothing for it.
-6. Because of the -6 priority of Trick Room. Yeah, it technically was an illegal move. I would have to talk to the mods about walking it back, but I doubt that they want to do that. So we're just going to probably run with it as it is because at the time he was not mathematically eliminated and we had not paused his plays. So I think we just let it slide. But if there's enough snap back and people want to fucking call it back because he technically was mathematically eliminated, then we can discuss it as mods, but I doubt that that'll happen. I don't even think you guys care that much. Fable doing her job. Proud of you, girl. Love you. Those of you who don't know, my daughter's name will be Fable. I've been trying to get Clefable all year. Hasn't happened.
Oops.
Welcome back, Brendan.
Thought I was clicking on one of the regular chats.
Yeah, it happens. Fucking J Wade. We do have certain players also like next week. So certain players are eliminated, but they technically have still have a chance to ruin other players' seasons. That's the best part about the league, right? Is they can. And also, by the way, Clefable versus next to Gengar is so cute because they are, the shadow versus the light. So that's really cute, Zach. I just want to point that out. But it's really cute to see going forward that these players have the ability to ruin other people's seasons. So, like, Philip has the ability to drag people down with him, right? Like, he could fuck up Zach's season somehow, just on placement. Technically, if Selena beats me by 6, I think technically I can be eliminated. But Selena would have to beat me by 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that they can't do it. I'm just saying that it's not realistic. Like, I'm probably at least gonna pick up 1 KO.
Sixos are very hard to come by.
They are, and they require a lot of strategy. They require a lot of early aggression that works out in your favor, and they also require a lot of switching.
It all like it can also sometimes just require like just getting your opponent like and just catching them by surprise.
Exactly.
Oh my
Two.
god, of
That
course
was a
it
roll.
lived.
That was a roll.
That was absolutely a roll. That's so unfortunate.
Speakman, you made yourself very clear. He's displeased with me, which is fine. I made some statements this afternoon that were fairly aggressive. Let's see, so Philip is now... I don't think I did the math here. He's at negative 11, so let's do 4, 7, negative 11. So if he wins by 6 against Zach, and I'm at 0, if he wins by 6 and I lose by 6, he could make it. Yes, that's true. Philip is not mathematically eliminated. Philip is not mathematically eliminated. That is true. So his plays stand. He is technically, he would have to win by 6 still, and the other people would have to lose by 6. It is still very far-fetched, but he is technically not mathematically eliminated, and same thing for Speakman. So we got it right the first time with the very first announcement, which was that let me make sure I got it right. So Justin, SB, Selena, Jalen, and Sakuna are the eliminated parties. That is the only thing left to do. Dropping Lycan Rock for Slowking Galar at the last second there for the cleaner, and we got a couple seconds left. Dark Horse making a post. 2, 1. If he doesn't get it in time, it's 12 a.m. He can't make it. So Zach has lost his chance if he was typing to secure something, but it doesn't matter now because it's 12 a.m. Trade negotiations. It is unlikely, but it is still possible. That's correct, Speakman. It is unlikely, but both Speakman and Philip technically are not mathematically eliminated based on score, and that is big. Yeah, Unaware is huge. I love Unaware.
Yeah,
In fact,
move is very good.
or ability, but yes. In fact, Dan, if you are interested, I would be interested in Clefable, and I would even drop Skeledirge for you next weekend. If you want to do like a Clefable trade, and then I'll drop Skeledirge and you can grab Skeledirge, I mean, I'm interested. So, like, you get to keep Unaware. I just want Clefable on my final team, because if I'm going into playoffs, I want Clefable on my final team because it's my daughter's name coming up, and I kind of want it. But if you can't do that, no worries. I'm not gonna twist your arm into trading me something that's gonna help you win. Yeah, that's true. You have a Fire Ghost already. I would have offered the same thing to Zach, but Zach has already made it clear he doesn't want it. So I will not end the season with Clefable, but that's okay. This is an intense game. Now, this is the start
This
of
is
the
a
really...
rough game state.
Yeah, and this is the start of the really good games of the week. It was hard to decide the last 3 matches because they were all very, very good games. This is what we ended up with. I think this could have been either the next match or even the last match. This was a very good game. So just props to both players, Jay and Zach, for this game. This was high tier gameplay. I like the use of the special character to do Tower of Goth.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Technically, Philip could still make it. If somehow Philip does make it, his team is not fucked, but it's like not as good as it was. I guess he has a lot of options. E Honda goes down to the Psychic, which is huge. I think he did that trade thinking that it was his last chance to make a broken trade for somebody else. I don't know why he did it for Reese. Again, no hate towards Reese, but Reese is a 4 or 5 time champion. I forget the actual number. It's like 4 times, I'm pretty sure, though. So, like, you know, if you're going to help somebody, like, don't help the 4-time champion. I don't know. No offense to you, Reese. Good trade for you. It's just, you know, 4-time champion. Like, what the fuck do you need help for, bro? There's other players that haven't won yet. Like Jay could have helped. Like, I would love to have seen Jay or Dan, like, you know, Brendan even. Like, these are players that should have won or could have won in the past seasons and, like, deserve a win, personally, I believe. But, you know, what happens, happens. That's the game we play. Takeout happened. Did we get a covert cloak? Nope. We got the flinch. Psychic goes off. Steel is gonna take that a little bit. We got the crit even, and we ate that. We got the heal from the... Okay, this is intense, actually. Wow. Okay. Double heals? He's just gonna fucking tank and heal? What the fuck is happening here? No. He can't turn this around on just the fucking... This is a 1-4. I apologize. I think this should have been the last match. I am very sorry for my miscalculation. This may be the greatest match of the week. This is an extremely good match. That's actually it. That's the match right there. So, Zach just won with that second iron defense, because here we're gonna body press this steel type now that it's a steel type. Woodhammer's gonna do jack fuck all. The recoil is gonna do more than the actual damage. We're gonna hit with the body press. It's gonna kill the Tatsumaki easily. We're gonna get the heal from the terrain and the leftovers. And then we're gonna proceed to fucking reverse 1-4 sweep. This should have been the last match of the week. I should have paid attention. This is such a good match. I think he probably should have saved that Pokemon till at least the last 2.
I think a Sucker Punch is still probably going to do it.
He already terrored, so... You have too much faith in a Sucker Punch after 4+ defense boosts. And now we're going to get the heal, the double heal. We're in green. Yep. Baylor came in on, or was already damaged. Now we're going to get the kill on Baylor. So Brent didn't do jack fuck all. Wow. That's gonna kill for sure. And King Gambit is holding choice specs now. Oh, it's a normal type. And it's slow. We're just gonna body press it to death. Force protect. Whatever. We don't care. Literally, we don't care.
This is insane.
Can he get the double protect is the question, because that double protect might actually matter. If he were able to get a double protect, he might be able to make this work. Holy shit. Holy shit. No, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. You do that.
Wow.
This is the best match of the week. This should have been the last match of the night. I'm sorry. I actually failed you guys. This is the best fucking match of the season, I think.
Unbreakable.
He's gonna protect just for the heal. Holy shit, that's disrespectful almost. That's like actively disrespectful. Holy shit. Yeah, exactly. Hope for that crit. Woodhammer crit, come on.
The crit won't do it. The
Nope.
crit won't do it.
Doesn't matter. It's
It was
over.
never gonna do it.
2 crits would have done it. He had the chance for 2 crits. He could have done it, technically. It wouldn't have been mathematically feasible, but he could have done it. That's it. That's it.
What a match.
That was the best match of the week. Wow. And he brought it back. God damn. He brought it back from a fucking 1-4. A 1-4 loss. Like, he fucking brought it back. Now that is a 3-time champion, Zach Roselle. That is what that is. That was impressive. That was impressive gameplay. He didn't let the pressure get to him. He actually just followed through. That was really good gameplay. And both players played well too. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So this is me versus a Reese. We have one more match after this, which is a really good match. Me versus Reese. Now, if I win this, I solidify my spot in playoffs. If I lose this, I am vulnerable to being knocked out of playoffs. So hopefully I can win. This is again me versus E-Ray. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. I just kind of like. First of all, I haven't been paying much attention all year to teams and abilities and things like that. I did kind of focus. I did not roulette this team. I will say that. I did not roulette this team. I did kind of focus on a little bit on trying to do my best to win this match because I knew that winning this match like solidified my playoff position, which I really wanted to do. Um, and so I played a little bit to my strengths here. I tried to do my best with the matchup against Aris and see what happens. So let's watch this gameplay. I did lead. I thought that this was probably a bad lead after I saw the game, but I was like, practice a bit with the lead here. I actually totally forgot about good as gold. Gonna say that out of the gate.
You know, Ian, forgive me because this is my fault.
What? What do you mean?
Literally, like moments before the wire opened up, one of my buddies was like, "Yo, you should pick up Goldango," and I was like, that would be a pretty good idea. And had I committed to that idea, I would have gotten it instead of Aris. Because I
Yeah,
ended up getting my chicken before him. I was
Goldango
like, that.
actually is like Goldango actually isn't even the problem. This is a good match. Like no matter what happens, this is a good match. Goldango actually isn't the problem here. The problem is that like I forgot about good as gold and I try to thunder wave it next turn.
Oh no, you already did that.
Oh yeah, so I already did that. Exactly. Totally forgot about good as gold. I saw that go off and I was like, oh, be it, dude. Like I had 1,000 other things I could have done here.
Pokemon is so devastatingly good.
He even critted me. I did survive though.
That is one thick cheese stick.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, it actually would have benefited me if you were Terra Steel, because I would have just instead of poison jabbing you, I would have drain punched you, which would have been a fucking stab bonus. I would have healed myself. It would have benefited me if you had done Terra Steel. Oh, I guess you would have killed me, maybe. That's a good point.
Didn't he Dazzling Gleam you?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember the first term. So maybe, I mean, it might not have died. But either way, we're in the world that we're living in now, where he did Terra Fairy. Cat would have been one hit. If the cat would have been one hit, the fucking Thunder Wave wouldn't have gone off. I would have done something else. It would have benefited me. It would have actually helped me if you had one hit the cat. Like, it would have absolutely assisted me. I didn't get to. The wave didn't work. You were good as gold. The wave wouldn't have what mattered. Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are we talking about here, Aries? I would have brought out this Pokemon. I would have outsped you with a Heat Wave. Like, what the fuck? It would have actually lost you the game had you chosen the right, quote unquote, the one you say is right, Steel type. You would have lost the game. It would have, but okay. We live in this universe, not the one where you chose Terra Steel. Telepathy, yay!
Alright, pop the sash. Good.
So here's where I fuck up the first time.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is the first fuck up here. This actually would have been a lot easier of a game if I hadn't fucked up here.
Well, technically this isn't the first.
No, this is well, I guess the Thunder Wave, yeah. But even still, I don't think I would have outsped the Goldango, so I would have just died there anyway. But here I do Nasty Plot instead of Discharge.
Oh yeah.
Discharge would have just cleaned up the W. It would have won. So I actually fucked up here, and Discharge would have killed both Pokemon without me losing any Pokemon. Right there, that would have been it.
Oh yep.
So I actually cost
That's the
myself the
problem.
W there. That was the biggest cost right there. Like literally just choosing Discharge wins me the game there. Especially if I Terra Electric, like that would have just won me the game right there. It would have been over. But you know, we don't live in then. We live in the now. So yeah, Terra Electric plus Discharge would have just won me the game absolutely 100% in that one play right there. Been nothing he could do about it. Even if he had Steel type Terra Goldango. Shocker! All that bravado doesn't matter because it's not factual. Alright, we go for the Terra, which was a little bit of an early call. I didn't necessarily need to do that. Probably could have waited. Probably should have waited, even. Yeah, that last one I should have Terra, Electric, the Rotom, and done Discharge. I would have killed both Pokemon, and he would have had nothing left to do. Like it
Honestly, I
would
don't
have.
even think you needed a Terra Electric. I think you just had it.
Yeah, if I had just hit Discharge, obviously. But Terra Electric Discharge would have definitely done it, no matter what. Even on a roll. That's the difference, is like the roll wouldn't have mattered if I Terra Electric. So I just fucked up myself there. So here we just kill both of his Pokemon. He doesn't have anything to do. Now the next turn is actually a really hard call. Because we just win this one, obviously. He already protected. So, whatever. We win that. We get the kill on that. Yeah, that's the other thing, is if I had Terra Electric and Nasty Plotted, I still would have gotten the Nasty Plot boost. Which would have, like, I would have survived the Power Gem there, potentially, and then I would have just been able to, like, Discharge, 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 just, like, killed everything with Discharge. But, like, again, it doesn't really matter here. So I'm checking on the turns of Rain left. There's potentially one turn left or two turns left. I don't really have a choice here. I have to double target. He does get the last respects. He hits the Cerberus. If I had hit Protect there, different story. Didn't hit Protect there. I didn't know what to expect there, so we went for the Dragon Claw. We got the kill, and now we Protect to let the Rain go down to try to get the speed back. Um, but the Rain does go down. I'm not sure if he had like Damp Rock or not, so I wasn't sure if this would work. The Rain does stop. I'm not sure if I'm faster, but I'm hoping I am, and I go for the Dragon Claw for the kill. We're not faster, even if we were on a
Probably scarfed.
yeah, right, exactly. Probably scarfed. Or even if we were on a speed tie, he fucking outsped me and got me. So like the protect on the On the Superior, the Terra Electric, the Discharge, any of those would have won me the game, even without the Steel type Terra Ares. But unfortunately, we didn't get there, so we lost. And we're moving on to the next match here. That would be Dan versus Bosch. Now, this is a really good match. I'm really excited to play this. Let me know when you're ready. It's going to start at 0-0.
I am ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and go. And this is a no asterisk match, according to Dan. So they both agreed to no asterisk, apparently. Now, this is a great match. These two players, they are friends. They don't necessarily know each other like too well, but like they're in terms of like their gameplay style, like they haven't played like a bunch, right? Like, you know, some of us have played for multiple years in a row. These players, I wouldn't say necessarily have that exact experience between each other, but they're both very good players. And this is Bosch's inaugural season too, and he has already solidified his spot in playoffs and done really well against his opponents. So this is a top tier match. I would say that based on the last two matches, right? So like it should have gone like me, Dan versus Bosch, then Zach versus Jay. I think that would have been the actual call. So we'll just call that the actual like best play series there. So it would be me versus Reese, then Dan versus Bosch, then Zach versus Jay, because that was a fucking just absolutely insane match.
Okay, here we go with an early Terra.
Can't go wrong with early Terra.
Yep. Oh no.
And that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Ledge combos.
Pledge combos. I actually thought about doing that recently. I was like, fuck it. I've got the combo. Why not? I do like how, despite being a highly performing player every week, Bosch's strategies are very like not necessarily orthodox. They're not necessarily unorthodox, but they're kind of out there. They're a little,
A little off the beaten path.
yeah, definitely not like your traditional.
Ooh, rough.
Got the good predict on the protect. And the switch. Now, how much exact damage does this do at the end of the turn?
I think it's probably between like an 8th or a 16th. Probably 16th. It doesn't look like it's doing that much damage to the Alolan Mach.
Let me see. Okay. One-eighth at the end of each turn. And it doesn't look like it goes away. It looks like that shit is fucking just there forever.
Yeah.
Which is pretty big, actually. Like 1/8 at the end of each turn. That can make any sort of non-Oko into an Oko. Like, very easily. Oh, it does. It does it 5 turns. Okay. Still, even still, like 5 turns is a long fucking time to be taking 1/8 HP.
Oh yeah. That's a long stretch of time.
With the grassy terrain and the leftovers, he is able to heal that 1/8 HP though.
Bosh, do you remember Black Sludge is good for a Alolan Mach. That way you can free up leftovers for another Pokemon.
Good point there, you know. Just keep that in mind. Just so you guys know, one thing to know about Grass Pledge. If you're playing Gen 6, Grass Pledge does not work in Sky Battles. Let me see if any of the Pledge's moves work in Sky Battles. None of the Pledge moves work in Sky Battles. They require a field. You know what I've been playing lately, guys? Dungeon Dice Monsters, for no fucking particular reason, on the Classic Collection for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been pretty cool, I guess. I feel like, I don't know, Trick Room, is Trick Room up already?
I believe it's already up.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention. Sky Battles were the dumbest fucking thing ever invented because they weren't even like a thing in any sort of competitive sense. They were only in
You know what I
game.
missed? Triple and rotation battles. Those were kind of neat.
Triple battles are the worst because of the way that they work. I have played triple battles competitively, just so you're aware. I have played them competitively, and they are the worst because like you can essentially lose your whole like half of your team in one turn. You could lose half your team in one turn if your opponent did the right combo. There's nothing you can do about it.
Just don't have your entire team weak to Earthquake. It's fine.
No, you could lose your whole fucking team in one turn on on 3v3s. Now rotation battles had their own thing to be said, and then also additionally, if you were to go to the battle royales, that was a different thing. I think that those had some potentials, but triple battles was ass. That just was, and unless they came out with other moves that like, and they changed how triple battles had potential, but the way that they launched them was just ass. It just wasn't good. All right, we got the fucking terrain back up. Now one more 1/8 is gonna kill this Rhyperior no matter what.
I'd probably just grassy glide it just to get out of the way.
I think it would. I think it would die before it heals, though, right? Like it would just die to the rotation battle. Was neat. It was okay, and also battle royale, where it was the two. First of all, 2v2s were great, and 4v4s or four, yeah, where it was a free for all, where it was 4 players, like that was cool. I think that was cool, and 2v2s were really cool, and we don't have 2v2s anymore. I think 2v2s were really top tier because, like in a VGC sense, think about that for a second, right? You both bring 6 Pokemon, you both bring 3 Pokemon. I think that in VGC, if you had team battles, 3v3 or sorry, 6v6 on a doubles team, like where you're working together, I feel like that would be huge for VGC.
That'd be a neat concept.
Right? Like you each pick 6 Pokemon, you can only bring 3 at a time. So like your combination meta wise really helps each other with like kind of side decking options, right? You know what I mean? Like there are lots of options that you guys can discuss in terms of the 3v3. I think that like 2v2 matches was the one thing they should have done for VGC as well and kept that going. I think 2v2 matches would have been a big deal if they had done it right.
Maybe we could see a comeback one day.
Maybe. We played it a couple times in the league. We would do like end of stream matches where we would have like, like me and Zach versus like, Steven and Jay or something like that. You know what I mean? And we would do those type of matches, and those were always a lot of fun. I think we had a good. By the way, I pulled this $200 card this weekend, guys. If you want to buy it, it's Galacticmon special rare. It's fresh out of the pack, into sleeve, into binder. Follow and like if you like our channel, whatever. Terra Water Belly Bolt. Gonna eat everything that comes at it.
Putting in a lot of work.
Significant amount of work, yeah. Wasn't enough.
Unfortunately, I believe that Bronzong has to live for that attack to go off.
It does have to. I actually don't know. I think Future Sight just happens naturally after like 2 turns or whatever. It like does the attack damage. Yeah, it just does the attack damage after it's chosen to do it. It does it to that spot in like 2 turns. Zach says it doesn't. Dan says it does. I guess we'll see. I mean, you could pair Future Sight with Protect and make it happen, right? But then it also would be kind of a waste of a move. No, Poison Jab that fucking ape. What are you doing? Poison Jab that monkey. Come on. Alright, whatever. Live by 1. That was a roll. Scorching Sands, we're gonna live. Poison Jab. Kill. That probably also would have killed the... That probably also would have killed the monkey, but whatever. And then Trick Room goes back up. Boom. That 1 HP. That was huge.
Yeah, that's very big for Bosch.
Or for Dan, rather, right? Or no, this is Bosch.
Yeah,
this is Bosch's
we're watching
side.
Bosch's POV.
Yeah. So that was big for him. Here we go. Alright, we got the Steel type out. 3v3. Or I'm sorry, 4v3. What are we going to do? We're going first, probably. I think we Flash Cannon. Let's try our best to do as much damage as possible. We go for the Poison Jab. No. Okay, we're gonna knock off. Fair enough. Okay, Bosch. I even would have done a fighting move on the Empoleon instead, if we weren't gonna do poison jab on the ape. Okay, so he was prepared for that. Bosch fucking actually made a call that was better, like just because I assumed. You know? Here we go. He definitely kills that ape now. I still think poison jab. No, see, poison jab would have been the call, but also, you know, hindsight 2020.
Oh wow. Huh. Oh well, it was alive. It was still alive anyways.
It did catch some damage though on the entry, which was interesting. Now we got Shadow Sneak, which is gonna kill that 1 HP if we don't, you know, whatever. We don't have Protect, so we basically have to try to do anything we can if we survive or miss, you know, a miss happens, whatever. We just have to do something. No Shadow Sneak, according to Dan. Okay. Interesting choice. Respect. He had to, okay, it had bulk up.
A lot.
He made that call. He withdrew Pickles. This is such a fucking tense match. I can't believe this is happening. And the Protect goes up, okay. I think maybe Bosch might have been concerned leftovers versus poison, because in case he terra'd maybe.
I wonder what his
Because
type is.
leftover doesn't. Yeah, let's see. Well, we can't see now.
We'll have to see based off the Pokemon screen.
Yeah. We would have to go back to see it and whatever. I mean, but that could have been why.
Bosch still has 2 more Pokemon left, so there's a chance we'll see it. There's a chance we'll see it.
Protect again. That's double protect.
Double protect. That's wild.
The fabled double protect. The reflect goes up. That's pretty big actually here late game. Knock off. Double protect happened. Yawn. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, Dan. God damn, Dan. Okay. Damn, Daniel. 3 minutes left. Not fuck all he could do about it. That's okay. That double protect actually just decided the game. That just is what it is.
Honestly, if I'm Bosch, I'm probably knockoffing still into the armor slot.
Oh yeah, I think we still are. Yeah, for sure.
Because that still puts us in a good position even with the time left.
Yeah, so we go for the Trick Room again just to try to get that. Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess. Yeah, he was banking on the pure adrenaline here. We're gonna get the kill if we hit it.
Probably not, actually.
Whoa, that has to be a roll. Dan, how much did it survive by? You're in chat. I see you, you cocksucker. Again, not in a bad way, just in a factual way. 2 HP. That was a roll. So that's two rolls. 2 rolls. The Bronzong, which is huge, by the way. The Bronzong has put in so much work on 1 HP, by the way. And then the fucking monkey just survives by 2 HP. There goes the sleep, and that's it. That's the end of the game, because we don't have the time to finish the game out. I legitimately believe that Bosch could have won in time, if he had been able to, like, if they had set this up as a 20-minute match, I'm sorry, as a 60-minute match, like if they had scheduled it like how you can do, um, I think I legitimately feel like Bosch might have won this one with the extra turns, but the turns don't happen here. Now we have levitate. Oh fuck. We're just gonna live. Yeah, there's not shit he can do to this fucking muck. Dude, yeah, if the turns hadn't ended up this way, like, yeah, no offense, Dan. I'm glad that you got your W. But if you guys had set up your match on a 60-minute timer, Bosch would have had this one. 100%. There's no, that Bosch would have had this. Zach actually did it for an entire season with an opposing league. I'm not gonna lie. I see you waited for that time screen, you fucking asshole. You waited for that time to run out. I can't blame you though. Yes, nobody bothers. I understand, but that is what it is. That is the reality of the situation. So Bosch loses. And he lost because that double protect went off. He lost because there was a time limit. He lost for a number of reasons, right? The rolls happened on both sides. Like there was so much RNG happening in this match. You can't really blame it on anybody. This match came down to two players getting into time, and that's where it happened there. Um, Ultimately, you know, Bosch lost due to time. He could have switched into, according to Zach, that actually does solidify things. If he had switched into Vikavolt, he would have had 4 versus 3 and would have won just on that. But really not much to do there. Bosch, you played an admirable game and you lost to Dan in a stylish fashion. So this is a 0-0. It's 3-3. Dan won, so it's a 0-0 in terms of the point loss win ratio. Now going to the standings, we don't have the full standings updated yet. I mean, I do technically on the side, but I don't have a picture of it, and we're not going to go into that. So the players that are eliminated mathematically: Justin SB, so Stephen Billen, Selena, aka Selena, Jalen, and JG are all eliminated from playoff contention. They cannot make it. Now, the players that remain in playoff contention are technically Philip, who has a 4-7. He could make it if all of the 5-5s lose. He could make it just by winning the next match. If all the 5-5s lose, I don't think that's possible. Or no, it would have to be me and Brian. Me and Brian will both have to lose. I don't know what the schedule looks like week 12. Let's see. Brian plays Jay Wade, so that's a big one because that decides if Jay Wade makes it or not, or if Brian makes it. That's huge. And then what's the other one? Be Brian versus Jay Wade. And then who does Philip play? Schedule Philip. Philip plays Zach. So if Philip wins against Zach and Brian loses, and then, I lose one of those, Philip makes a 6-7. It doesn't matter what his plus minus is. He passes any of the 5-0s. Now, Speakman requires that one of us loses by a significant amount. Philip actually can make it without a significant amount loss here because he's a 5-7 now, or I'm sorry, he's a 4-7. Never mind. I'm all kinds of wrong. I'm doing the math wrong here, guys. Sorry. Yeah, Philip has to win by 6. Speakman has to win by 6. Or actually, Speakman can win by less than 6, but even still, they have to win by a significant amount in order to make it. Sorry about the mismatch. I was looking at the wrong sheet. But yeah, so they have to win by a significant amount to make it. We have to lose by a significant amount for them to make it. That's Brian and myself. The players who are locked in now, I will go ahead and announce that. That will be Jordan, H, Dan, Jay, Reese, Bosch, Brendan, Ty, Zach. Zach is locked in. Now, Corey is locked in. Mike is locked in. The only two players not locked in are myself and Brian. And for us to be knocked out, we do have to lose by a significant margin, and the opposing players have to win by a significant margin. But we are technically not locked out. We are just potentially knocked out. And same thing for J Wade, Phil, and Speakman. One of those players could pass us. Now, J Wade has the highest chance of passing us because all he has to do is win because he is a 5. He is a, let me just make sure I'm doing this math right. Yeah, so he is a 5-6. If J Wade just wins next week and he plays Brian, if J Wade beats Brian, he just makes it. And if he beats Brian by enough, he can actually knock Brian out of playoffs. If Selena beats me by enough, Selena knocks me out of playoffs, but it's very unlikely. But still, they could. So Jay Wade winning against Brian could put Brian out of playoffs. Me losing against Selena could put me out of playoffs. Same thing for Speakman and Phil. Now Speakman and Phil plays Zach. Speakman plays Justin. So if Speakman wins by 6 against Justin, he can make it pretty easily if Brian loses or I lose. So lots of math going into that last match. Lots of stuff to talk about. But the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, and Brendan, thank you so much for joining me for the stream. I appreciate that. We
No
do have to
problem.
talk about feed on the week, right? So, like in the past, feed on the week has worked in two different ways. I went through all of the previous feed on the week so we could figure out how this worked previously and make an informed decision on how we wanted to proceed. So the last like 2 years, it's been a 2-2. So that would be 2 wires, 2 trades in order to do the final week. That wasn't super popular. And also season 2 and 3, I think also had 2-2s. Those are the only 4 seasons out of the 10 seasons to have 2-2s. All the other seasons on Feed of the Week had a 1-1, and that means 1 wire, 1 transfer. This season going into Feed on the week, so that means week 12. Any player that makes week 12 will have the option to do 1 wire and 2 trades. So you can do 2 trades from the remaining players who are still in contention for playoffs at the end of the season going into playoffs. You can do 2 trades. You can do 1 wire. And all players who are eliminated from playoffs will have their teams drop to the wires except for their asterisk Pokemon. So non-asterisk Pokemon only will be dropped to the wire, and the players who are potentially to be dropped are Jay Wade, myself, Brian, Philip, and Speakman. Every other player is already locked in that is going to be dropped, and that would be Justin, SB, Selena, Jalen, and Sakuna. Those players will have their teams dropped to the wires except for their asterisks and will be available. The last 2 have to be decided, and that would be either myself, Brian, Jay Wade, Phil, or Speakman as the last 2 players who cannot be locked in. There are only 2 players who are not locked in. It is unlikely that Brian and I will be eliminated. Actually, it's not that unlikely that Brian will be eliminated. It is unlikely that I will be eliminated. And that's because Jay Wade directly battles Brian. So, like, if Jay Wade beats Brian, that just ends it for Brian altogether. If there's a lot of factors. We don't want to get into it. But anyway, the last season, after we figure out who's left over, you guys make your matches, schedule everything for this last week. Week 12, at the end of week 12, going into week, the playoffs week 1, you will have a 1 wire trade of anything on the wire, and that includes non-asterisk Pokemon from players' teams that have been eliminated. And then you will have the option to trade twice with 2 remaining players in the playoffs to solidify your position in the playoffs and your final team. That is all there is to it. That is the end of the season. Going into it, we will go over the remaining matches real quick and just call this a day. So let's go into the standings. Hang on a sec. We're going to switch this properties over to the next week, which will be week 12. And the next matches are Corey versus Jordan H. Again, both players already solidified. Only positional matters there. Mike versus Jalen. Again, Jalen already eliminated. Mike already solidified. Only positional changes matter there. Selena versus myself. Selena has the potential to knock me out of playoff contention. But Selena does not have the potential to make playoff contention. So her entire job is to knock me out of playoffs and just ruin my season. Please do it, Selena. I promise you, I would greatly appreciate if you were to knock me out. I guess I could forfeit and be knocked out automatically, but please, I don't want to do that. So just knock me out. Just beat me by 6. That's all you have to do. SB versus J. Now, SB, again, does not have the potential to make playoffs, but has the potential to lower J's score to another lower tier. So SB's job is to lower J's score here. Philip versus Zach. Philip needs to beat Zach by 6 to play. He cannot do it otherwise, so he has to beat a former champion by exactly 6 games. I'm sorry, 6 Pokemon to even have a chance at making playoffs. Speakman versus Justin, that's a big one. Speakman doesn't even have to win by 6. Speakman just has to win by a couple in order to make that happen. Let me just make sure I got my numbers right here. Let's see, season 10. Speakman is -10. Philip could actually. No, I'm so sorry. Philip just needs to win next match and he can make it. But Speakman is -10, so Speakman has to win by a good amount to make it. Philip just has to win. That's crazy. So if Philip wins, he makes it. Now, J-Wade versus Brian, we already talked about that one. That's a big one. J-Wade had potential to knock out Brian and take a spot. Bosch versus Aris, they're already solidified. That only has placement on contention in terms of like placements. Grants versus Brendan, again, just placements here. And Dan versus Ty, again, just placements there. So the only matches that actually have impact on the upcoming week are Selena versus myself, Philip versus Zach, and Speakman versus Justin, and Brian versus J-Wade. Those are the only matches that have anything to matter in terms of who's going to make it. Because there are 2 spots left that are not locked in, and those are the matches that matter. So we'll see what happens next week. We'll let you guys know. Brendan, thank you so much for joining me for stream.
No problem.
Appreciate that. And that is the end of our stream. We'll see you guys next week for week 12, the end of the normal season. Thank you so much for tuning in for this whole season. And as always, thank you for watching PLC Pokemon League Championship on Marisame Media. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.